What's up, everybody? Get started here. There's people on. Well, hello, Eileen. How you doing today? So this is the first episode in Shadows Talk, and I'll give you a little background on why we chose the name Shadows Talk in just a little bit. We're gonna get some more people in here. How you doing, Eileen? I'm going to wind up catching hell, aren't I? I got my times mixed up. I was supposed to be in, started at 6 o'clock Central Standard Time. Dr. Jen couldn't be with us tonight. When we scheduled this thing several weeks back, he was going to be on there, and then he wound up realizing a couple days ago that he had a family thing to go to tonight, so he wasn't able to make it tonight. You can kind of see it, big shelf there in the window reflection. But it looks like you're the only one on so far. Anyway, Dr. Jim can't be with us tonight. Hopefully he will be on the next one, which we've already got scheduled already, and we'll kind of announce that also towards the. Thank you. Yeah, ready to rag me. Yep. Try to not use these glasses as much because it causes a glare. Anyway, my name's Donald Martin. This is Shadow Talk. The reason we chose Shadows Talk is kind of a remembrance of Doyle Goss. He was a good friend of mine. We formed Southern Paranormal together. We also had a mobile unit that was called Shadow, and it had our DVR system and all our equipment and all our whole mobile setup. So when we went to bigger locations, we could basically put up a 16 camera DVR system set up. And anyway, when he passed away, of course, we lost Shadow and all that. And then we also have a kind of a doll that Terry Long from Long Gone Dolls had made for us, and that was in the intro video. If you actually saw it, that's Shadow. He's went around the country with us at different locations and all. So that's why we chose Shadows Talk. Actually, Rebecca is the one who came up with that name. It's like it fits pretty good for what we were talking about, trying to get a podcast going. So, hey, Jeremy, how are you? So, a little bit of background. My name, again, is Donald Martin. I formed Southern Paranormal with Doyle Goss. He passed away about two and a half years ago. It's also in our group is Kyle Davis, and of course my wife Rebecca Martin, who is standing off to my right here. And hey, Rich, how are you, man? And you're going to bear with me because I'm new to this StreamYard thing on the broadcasting side of it. We filmed formed back in 2014, and then went all over the country, different places, mostly in the central eastern area, as well as a lot of places in the south. We've been to West Virginia. That's about as far north as we've went, northeast. We've been all the way to Savannah, Georgia. We've been to all the way to Ohio, uh, Texas, Yoakum, Texas, and of course a lot of the South, and pretty much everywhere in between all those locations there. Uh, Appreciate it, Rich. Thank you for sharing, man. Um, some of the places we've investigated. The first place I ever investigated was Thomas House in Red Bowling Springs, Tennessee. That was where I got my feet wet on the paranormal side of it. I've always been interested in the paranormal, even when I was very young. Uh, One of the things on my bucket list was to experience one paranormal investigation, or go on one investigation or experience something, with a paranormal. Of course, I've filled that thing many times over now. We've probably got, I would guess, somewhere around 150, 200 investigations under the belt by now. I'm sure. We used to keep up with it back when Noel was still alive. Our 50th was actually at Sorrel Wheat House in Savannah, Georgia. It was a really good place. Number 49 was Moon River Brewery on that same weekend. West Virginia, uh, Moundsville State Penitentiary, Trans Allegheny Lunatic Asylum, which is probably one of my favorite places to have ever investigated. I would love to go back there again one day, but I think they're still pretty expensive to book that place. I think it's probably still about $1,500 to go. See, Sloss Furnace. We've been to Sloss. It was an okay place. A lot of contamination noise around the area because it's right below a busy highway. So a lot of audio contamination there. But we actually had some pretty good experiences there. Like there at close to the boiler. I had a little episode there. That was the first episode thing going on. Let's see, Jailhouse Pizza, of course, Old Southern Funeral Home, which we used to manage. It just recently got sold, so we don't have that location anymore. And it was kind of the bittersweet, I guess. It was good that somebody bought the location and is going to be fixing up the building and fixing the roof. They had a lot of roof issues. So they're actually turning it right back into an actual running funeral home. Of course, at Talladega County Jail, we still have it. We investigate there. Not really doing anything right now because it's that time of season where everything kind of starts slowing down for holidays and Christmas, and usually cold. It's been in the close to the 80s here the past couple of weeks. Middle of December. That's the southern weather for you. What is Eileen saying? Who's your favorite person outside Southern Paranormal Investigating? Oh my goodness, that would be.
Wait. What did she ask?
Who's your favorite person outside of Southern Paranormal Investigating with? Honestly, I'll have to say Eileen Jones. It's always a good trip. Now it's depending on where we're at, I guess. I've got a lot of people I like to investigate with, but I guess probably investigated with Eileen more than anybody outside the paranormal. Fallen Shadows is another good one. Another good one. Good friends of ours, Heath and Shane, and Ashley was part of that one time. Darren and Patty. Uh, some good folks there. We've known them for quite a long time. I guess our first investigation with them was maybe Hales Bar Dam and maybe uh, Old South Pittsburgh Hospital. Ronnie D owns it. We've been there several times. It's a good location. You gonna get inside here, or are you just gonna hang off to the side? Can do that. Oh, see our ladder.
Look, my ladder.
Yeah, we're actually painting the office right now where we're at. So just ignore the backdrop there. We're in the middle of remodeling the area right in here. I'm going to guess anyone but Eileen. Hey, Nick, what's going on? Glad you could join us. Trying to entertain everybody here.
Glad you're feeling better,
hour.
Nick.
Yeah, she had the flu a couple weeks ago.
About 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, it was pretty rough. I kind of stayed out of the room as much as possible. Slept in Garrett room. Slept in Garrett's room for a couple days. And I was at work also. So, for those of you who don't know, I'm a firefighter also. Hey, Patricia. Excuse me. Talking about the flu, and I'm gonna start sneezing. Yeah, I'm glad you're back. Trying to watch, I guess your show the other night. I think I was at work that night when something came up. Couldn't watch the whole show. Kind of back on places we've been. So we've been to, we've been to Bobby Mackey's. Been there. Wasn't a whole lot going on that night. I did hear a disembodied voice down in the down below the in the basement area, down in the dressing room area. Actually sat in the hole, did an EVP session in the hole there, and it was pretty intense on my side of it, but I never got anything on that whole session. Let's see, where else we've been?
What's that one in Illinois? Out in
Ashmore States. Been to Ashmore a couple times. We went to Octagon Hall not long ago last year. We were privileged enough to
Old Stone Jail there in Kentucky also.
Yeah, with the Old Stone. We did that in that same weekend there as part of that Paracon. Yoakum, Texas, Old Yoakum Hospital, again, Old South Pittsburgh, Hales Bar Dam.
Kansas, the Masonic Temple in Kansas.
Yeah, the temple. That was
a really cool place.
That was a good little place. We had some crazy stuff happen there that night during that. Yeah, I want to say Kansas. Of course, we've done residentials. We don't really talk a whole lot about the residentials that we do. Tyler, Texas. Yep, went to Tyler, Texas. What was it, Tyler, Texas? Which place was that?
That was the place you got sick.
Oh, yeah, I know. Yeah, yeah. I wound up getting shingles that weekend that we were there, and I was miserable that weekend, especially the last night. Yeah. For those of you who have never had shingles, you don't want them. There's the worst sickness I've ever had, and I've had kidney stones galore and and the flu, and of course had COVID once, but within 24 hours I was pretty much over it. But I still had to stay in a room for another 6 days. Boredom sets in pretty quick after the first 48. Let's see, Lincoln County Jail, or Lincoln County Hospital, Lincoln County Hospital, which is really close to Old South. I'm not sure if they're still investigating that location or not. Yoakum, Texas was a really good place. Hey Todd, what's going on? The Todd is here. Ronnie D has gotten another location that is he's got getting ready to open up. Birthday surprise. Broken Bow. Yeah, Broken Bow with Ashley Storm. So Eileen's comment up here. We went to Broken Bow. It was a weekend surprise that my wife had set up, and me and her and Kyle went to.
And Eileen.
Yeah, Eileen showed up the day after we got to the motel and all. And that was a nice surprise. She brought me a cake. Yeah. Didn't want to really open the door. Brought me a cake. We went out and got something to eat, some steak and all that. It was really good food that night. Broken Bow is crazy. It's crazy active. Got touched for the first time by a spirit there. We did a Estes method in there where Kyle was underneath headphones and all, and Becca was relaying. It's a really good place, man. But Becca was relaying what Kyle was saying to me and Darren and Patty, because they were also there. And I think that was the second night though, wasn't it? And after just a few minutes, we were getting some very good intelligent responses from the spirits and all through the Estes method. Probably for a good 30 minutes. 30, 40 minutes, and then we left and then took a break and went outside and started recording on the next session, and it was like they did not want to be recorded. So I turned the camcorder. We had the recorder going. After about 20 minutes, we turned the camcorder off, and just like a light switch, they started communicating again. But that was a really good location to go to. Jeremy, I would definitely try to get in there. Maybe we can set something up sometime next year, and several of us get the place, talk to Ashley, and head over there. It's really not that far of a drive for us. Of course, when we were leaving out, they went south to go north. They had really had me thrown where we were heading to, because I had no idea where we were going. Waverly Hills, yep, forgot about the big one, Waverly Hills. Waverly Hills was a very good investigation. A bunch of us collaborated on that one. Fallen Shadows, Dr. Jim was there. I believe Dr. Jim was there. That was a good place.
That was a really good place.
Yeah, one of these days, definitely. That's all I've been saying. Tell us about your historical home. You go with that one. You want to go with that one?
So about a little over a year ago, May a year, we purchased a historical home here in Kosciuszko, Mississippi. Um, it's called the Peeler House, built in 1898. Um, the brick for this home was made on site. It was also made with the same brick that was built, that our courthouse on the square was built with. Um, it is a 7 bedroom, 6 bathroom home. Um, However, the back part of the house, the now kitchen, is an add-on. But I absolutely love my kitchen. Um, there hasn't been too many things happen here. Um, there was one family who tried buying this house and apparently had all kinds of activity in it. But I also say, and I mean, since we've been in it, we've only had maybe like a couple of things happen. Um, we were laying in bed one night, and of course, we have a king size bed, and I was scooted more toward the center of the bed. And next thing I know, it felt like somebody had laid down next to me um, on my back. I just felt the bed just kind of go down with it, and I was just like, huh, you know. The other thing I've had happen was I was laying in my bed, and I think kids were already asleep. Donald was at
Was it work?
yeah, you were at work. And of course, I have a change jar on my dresser, and it was pitch black dark, and I was looking at my phone, and the next thing I know, it sounded like a coin, a heavy coin, at least quarter size, dropped into my change jar. Um, and if anybody knows me, my change jar has scrunchies and a couple of face masks on top of my change. So if you were to drop anything into it, it wouldn't make a loud noise.
A couple of experiences I've had both in the same bedroom. Uh, One night I was laying there. I don't think Becca was at work. I hadn't gotten home yet, but I'm sitting there just laying in bed on my phone. Lights were kind of down just a little bit, and felt like somebody had come and sat on the foot of the bed. And I kind of stopped for a minute. I looked and like, huh. And I was like, yeah, no big deal. The other time, I was in there laying down again by myself, and again had the lights kind of turned down because we have a dimmer switch on our light. And not matter of fact, the lights were off. Lights were off then, and our dimmer switch was kind of old style. It was just a turn, and lights were off, and I'm sitting there on my phone again, uh, and all of a sudden, the lights came on. Not full, but kind of like somebody had went over there and turned it on just a little bit. And I just kind of looked around for a minute. It was like, okay, no big deal. Went back to whatever I was doing on the phone at the time. Nothing too crazy, happened in the house. We don't want bedroom experiences. Sorry, Eileen. We have a lot of bedroom experiences. Apparently, Eileen does not. Uh, Waverly Hills. Waverly Hills. Of course, I'm no expert on Waverly Hills. I'd be Ernie and Denise. But the time we were there, we had a very good investigation. We got our best ever EVP from that location. Got several EVPs from there, and but the most notable one that we had was Class A. We were down in the death chute, and we were down there, and we were shooting an intro video, and we have a tendency to. Yeah, it would be awesome. It'd be awesome to get a big group of people to do there. But we were shooting intro video, and we had a tendency to make sure we're testing our recorders, because we used mic recorders instead of using the audio from the actual cameras, because it would not pick up everybody the same. So we just used audio recorders to do all that. And my wife Rebecca had hit record on it, and she just said testing, 1, 2, testing, turned it off. Never thought anything about it. And then we got back home, and Dole calls me. He's like, "Hey, you made kind of joke about it." It's like, "Was there any kids there?" It's like, "Yeah, Dole, I brought all of my kids to Waverly Hills with us." I said, "No, I want you to listen to this." And of course, I'll play it here sometime on the podcast. We get talk about evidence and stuff sometime. But you can hear this little girl's voice saying, "Mama, Mama," in between my wife talking and going through the audio check. But it was like as clear as day. And anytime I play it for anybody, outside of the paranormal community, because I'll see people ask me about the paranormal. "Hey, y'all do that paranormal stuff? You don't get scared?" It's like, "No." And I'll play that audio, and it's like, oh hell no. I'd be out of there. But who knows what would happen if we'd have heard it, straight on, as a disembodied voice. Let's see what's going on here. Let's see. Donald's old. He needs his glasses to see anything. I can see just fine. I got my contacts in, and without my contacts, I can't see far off really good, especially at night. It messes up my vision at night. But I don't have to wear glasses to see up close. But with my contacts in, I have to see up close. So it kind of blurs everything up close a little bit to where I can't read when I got my contacts in. So what are you going to do? I've already told Ernie this I'm going to get a place for a whole week. Whoa, that's going to be expensive, but that'd be awesome. That would be awesome to get that place for a whole week. So, Donna, do you enjoy traveling to locations? Yes and no. Depending on who's driving, I get a lot of sleep if I'm not driving, as well as But I mean, I used to love going, on road trips. That was a lot of the fun, the traveling to and from, because me and Dole would set up. A lot of times it was just me and Dole. Everybody couldn't quite make it every time, so a lot of times it was me and him traveling to wherever. And I mean, we used to play Air Nation all the time. That was our radio station. The good old 80s hair metal, the good old 80s heavy metal. We used to listen to that all the way, and we used to have a good time, driving back and forth to the different locations. It's a lot more fun, and some of y'all can probably what's the word I'm looking for? Kind of understand what I'm saying. It's a lot more fun driving out there than it is driving back. You're excited to get out there. You're excited to get on the road, get away. You're driving to the location, whether it be 4 hours or 10 hours, and you're full of adrenaline, excitement about going to the location, and you finish your investigation, and then it's that trip back. You're loading back up, whether you're staying in the motel that night, and that's what we usually did. And taking that drive back is just, God, it's like you'll never get freaking home. I'm just like, oh my God, I just want to get home. Let's see. If only it was really singular. I'm on vacation from now throughout the next 2 weeks. Ah, Nick's on vacation. I wonder what that's like. Rich said, awesome. Jeremy said, won't be that soon. I'm at Waverly. Nick will let him know. Shared, by the way. Thank you, Nick. I appreciate it. And then Rich tuning in. He said, yes, it is. It can't be too soon. I only got an hour tonight. I guess we'll kind of go into, if anybody got any other questions or comments. Don't let Donald for you. He snores 5 minutes after hitting the road. Yeah, especially if I've eaten. I'm usually, like, if Eileen's going with us, it's the woman can't stop talking. She likes, I guess she likes talking about me too, because I'm my favorite subject there. So does Nick. Well, I guess if me and Nick rode together, we'd both pass out together, huh? Yeah, we used to take pictures. Jeremy said that Nick tends to pass out as soon as they get in the road. But yeah, we used to take screenshots. We used to take pictures of each other when we were napping. I've gotten several of Dole, and of course, we used to do little editing to the videos, to the pictures. Anytime we were traveling together, we'd get Shane and Heath and some of the other people that are driving also from a different location to our destination, and we'd be swapping photos back and forth of people sleeping. In weird business. Yeah, you just wish you did. Eileen, you're being kind of nice tonight. She really ain't hitting on me as much as I usually hit on her. Yeah, that is true. That is true. Yeah, Eileen's been kind of tame so far. I expected to get hit really hard by all the hell I've given her over the past couple years on podcasts there. I'm giving you your first show. Well, I appreciate that. Hopefully, Dr. Jim will be here on the next one. Kind of announce, we got about 5 minutes before I have to get off here. So Jeremy shuts me down. Well, you like it. Next show, we've kind of already discussed about the time frame, date. What we're planning on doing is doing a New Year's Eve / New Year's Day podcast. What we're going to do is come on, I believe, at 11:30 Central Standard Time. I get my times right because I messed up today. It was supposed to have been on earlier. I believe we got it set up for 11:30 Central Standard Time to go for 2 hours, so that both the Central Time Zone and the Eastern Time Zone will be on at the same show. And what we're going to do is bring in the new year on the podcast here. Dr. Jim is supposed to be there that night, so you'll get to harass him a little bit more, Eileen Jones. I don't know if Eileen even knows. Do you know Dr. Jim Clausen, Eileen? Ever met him? very smart, very smart. He's used to be in the Navy. He's a vet. Very intelligent man. We've investigated many times together. He has investigated Old South Pittsburgh many times. He can tell you some stories and all on that. 11:30 Eastern, you said. Okay. So it'd be 10:30 for us, 11:30 for y'all. Got it. That way we can both, everybody join in the podcast, and everybody be a part and kind of bring in the new year, right? And Nick's in the Central Standard Time. All right, good. Our idea is kind of a okay. Okay, that sounds good, Jeremy. So 10:30, 10:30 Central, 11:30 Eastern, and we're bringing the new year, talking, on podcast and have a good time there. We may have some, might have a little game we're going to play that night, possibly. We'll get onto that when we actually launch the thing. So. Not just Eastern Matter, Jeremy York. Central Standard Time is what matters. So what we're going to do, I think we talked about possibly doing a drinking game where there's a certain phrase or a certain word that's talked in during the podcast, and maybe people that are watching can also join in. Be a good little time. But what we were planning on doing is having the other hosts of podcasts on the Things Network come in at different times and talk a little bit on screen and during our podcast, and also enable them to pitch what they've got going on for the new year on their shows and all. So if you're all out there on Things Network watching during our group chats that we have, kind of hit me up in there, and we'll get you a time set to come in and join us for the night and kind of pitch your own stuff there for the night for the new year. We'll actually get to celebrate New Year's twice, both Central and Eastern. I'll be kind tonight. You've had enough shit last week. Me or Eileen? Oh, man, I got to go back here. Because I missed several things. So we're going to go with Eileen, how she started off. What does Eastern matter? Jeremy York, Central Standard Time is where it matters. Of course, Nick went LOL. Jeremy. Eileen, you're always going to be behind me. Sounds fun. Good Monday morning from England. Good morning, Bev Robinson. How are you? Thank you for tuning in. If you missed it, we're going to have our second show. Our second episode will be New Year's Eve for us. It'll already be New Year's for you. But it'll be 10:30 Central Standard Time and also 11:30 Eastern Standard. That's because I have to do cleanup. That's right, clean my shit. Oh goodness, now it's getting heavy. Heavy right when we're getting ready to sign off here. Oh, Awesome. Wendy likes apple pie moonshine. Not really. I really don't drink it. The last bit of that stuff I had, I maybe took 3 sips out before I gave it away to somebody. And I guess that was the last of it. But anyway, I'm over my time limit. I got to get off of here. Appreciate y'all tuning in tonight. Thank all my para friends, my para family there for tuning in my first episode, and I guess we'll see you December 31st for New Year's. Y'all take care.